Hey, what? Maybe we should go over and talk to Jed. He's the hottest girl in school.
It sure is. We can go down lower. There's a hole here we can peek in.
Oh.
This is Laura Hall's favorite hole.
Oh. You know what?
What?
My mom told me how Ray Miller makes babies.
You know what? Michael Ward is my mom.
I know.
Now at 10, Kyiv under siege. The fate of Ukraine could be determined in the next few hours as Russian forces close in on the capital and President Zelensky vows not to give up the fight.
Humanitarian crisis. Tens of thousands of Ukrainians flee the country, forced to leave their homes and lives. Families separated as men remain behind to join the battle.
And world outrage. Putin's bloody invasion touches off mass protests here at home and around the globe, even in Moscow, where protesters are arrested and dragged off the streets. Now on the news at 10. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Cher Calvin. A fierce battle underway at this hour in Kyiv as Ukrainians fight to hold back advancing Russian soldiers against all odds.
Massive explosions have been seen and heard in the Ukrainian capital after days of heavy fighting and blasts in other parts of the country. A live picture now at the capital city of nearly 3 million people. In a late-night address, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said with defiance, Ukrainians will resist the brutal Russian aggression heroically, saying the fate of Ukraine is being decided right now. There are fears hundreds of lives have been lost in fierce fighting in nearly every corner of Ukraine. The lifeless bodies of both Russian and Ukrainian soldiers have been seen near burned-out carriers and tanks. Russia says it's not hitting civilian areas, but several buildings, including apartments, have been destroyed.
The war has created a humanitarian crisis. The Ukrainian people forced to make difficult choices, flee or fight. In less than 48 hours, 50,000 people have escaped the country. The choices are unimaginable. These are newborn infants from a neonatal intensive care hospital in eastern Ukraine. They are now in a makeshift bomb shelter as the fighting escalates around them. In a different bomb shelter, a moving scene amid a devastating war. They are singing Ukraine's national anthem, banding together to show their resolve and love for their country.
We have it all covered with team coverage. First to KTLA's Pedro Rivera in the newsroom with the late-breaking developments tonight. Pedro.
Ukrainian military forces are trying to hold strong and keep control of the capital city of Kyiv. According to the Ukrainian armed forces, Russia was not able to overtake the city tonight. President Volodymyr Zelensky has said in the last hour that hundreds of Russian soldiers have lost their lives while also taking loss of their own, losing soldiers. Now, throughout the early morning hours, there was fighting going on in the streets. But before we get to that, I do want to say President Zelensky just took to Twitter, posting a video minutes ago showing him outside in the daylight with the video caption, "Do not believe the fakes." We're working on the translation to find out more from that video, but he is outside right now and seems to be in good spirits. Take a listen at what happened overnight.
Всім добрий вечір. Лідер фракції тут.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky vowing to stay in the capital city of Kyiv as Russian troops draw near.
Подоляк тут.
On Friday, Ukraine's head of state posted this video on Facebook titled, "We are here. We are in Kyiv. We are defending Kyiv." On Thursday, Zelensky warned he and his family were Putin's top two targets as his counterpart looks to topple the government. Local media reporting Zelensky rejected U.S. offers to evacuate Kyiv, instead standing by with members of his cabinet.
He's made clear that he's still in Ukraine, proudly and courageously standing up in the face of the Russian attack.
Sirens sound as explosions are heard moving closer and closer to the country's largest city. Ukraine continues its fight with Russia, defending their homeland.
Ukraine is fighting back. They are defending themselves.
But it may not be enough. So far, hundreds of casualties have been reported, with soldiers lying lifeless and buildings in Kyiv hit with shelling split in half. It's an invasion being seen by the world. This video going viral showing a